Thank you. I'm going to start off with a song, so I'm going to get that. It's just going to take me a second. As Christy said, I love music, and especially songs that are about love and different things. My genre, the genre I think that I love the most is the 30s, 40s, 50s. This one was actually Doris Day. She was the one who sang the song, It's When I Fall in Love. When I fall in love, it will be forever. I'll never fall in love. When a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that, you feel that way too. That's when I fall in love with you. Thank you. Can you tell what I'm going to be speaking about? Okay, I would like to start off today by kind of painting a picture in your mind. So if you would just close your eyes for a moment, I want you to picture this. I want you to picture your dining table in your house. And at your dining table are seated all of the people that you love. Not to mention all of the food that you love. Everyone looks happy, they're smiling, they're talking, they're laughing. Now against the wall in the other room is a beautiful Christmas tree that is lit and shining. Under the tree are wrapped packages for everyone in the room. After you eat, some of the children play at the tree. They smile and giggle about the presents. A fire is soon started in the fireplace and hot cocoa is passed around. Everyone gathers around and sings Christmas carols. Other carolers are welcomed in from the front door, and after hats, scarves, and jackets are passed out, your family continues singing with the group down the street to all of the neighbors. When you leave, the group disperses, and you decide you need to bathe the kids. After they are put in clean pajamas, together you read a book and sing a song. Gathering your loved ones, you have a bedtime prayer and tuck them in with a hug and a kiss. You and your husband clean up and put away the china as you reminisce about the evening. You laugh and talk. When the kitchen is in order, you sit around the dying fire and cuddle with a blanket. Now I want you to open your eyes. Was that like just perfect or what? That kind of reminded me of like a Rockwell Christmas, which exists kind of on paper. You're going to tap that again. Isn't that just perfect? All of their matching outfits. Aw, that's just so cute. As moms, don't we just like want that in the back of our minds, in the back of our heads? Okay, next one. Where everyone just feels loved and happy during the holiday. However, maybe this is a little more realistic. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. I want you to picture again your family dining table. Seated at the table are all the people that you love. But in the center is a half-cooked turkey. You didn't wake up on time to put it in the oven because the baby kept you up half the night with a runny nose and a cough. The sweet potatoes are burnt. Your daughter was too busy texting her friends to remove it from the oven. One of your mother's china plates is cracked after your youngest son decided to use it as a frisbee in the living room. Your napkins are not pressed and fashioned into dainty little birds like your neighbors had at their last party, but they will work. You've had to remove your youngest daughter, who is now throwing a fit after having corn and potatoes instead of macaroni and cheese. You eat too much pie, you drink too much apple cider, and as you undo your belt buckle, you decide you will start your diet in the morning. Against the wall in the other room is a beautiful Christmas tree, half lit and half shiny after the cat got to it. Under the tree are wrapped packages for almost everyone in the room. You still have 3 gifts to wrap and 1 waiting in the layaway department. After you eat, some of the children play at the tree and 3 ornaments crash to the ground, and you try not to cry as one of them is in the heap. The children smile and giggle about the presents until they realize that they are uneven. Johnny has 3 more presents than Mary, and now she is in tears. A fire is soon started in the fireplace and smoke fills the room. Your husband forgot to open the flue. Hot cocoa is passed around and Johnny burns his tongue. Everyone gathers around to sing Christmas carols, except the teenagers who are much too cool to sing about Rudolph and Santa Claus. Other carolers are welcome from the front door, and you want to join them and sing down the street to all the neighbors, but your husband's football game has just started and the boys have already turned on the Xbox. You bid the neighbors farewell and bathe the kids instead. Jenny gets soap in her eyes, Susie swallows 3 cups of bath water, and you put them in mismatched pajamas because the wash is still in the washer from yesterday. You read them a book, altering the words to get through 5 minutes faster, and sing a song, the one your girls request from the movie Frozen, and after you've sung it, you know you've already sung it 150 times, you still can't reach those high notes. Gathering your family together during the commercial of a football game, you say a quick prayer. You tuck the little ones in with a hug and a kiss and a warning that if they do not go to sleep, you will be back with a ping pong paddle. You clean the dishes and mop the floor, and just before you retire to bed, you remember the wash. As you lay in bed next to your snoring husband, you wonder how you made it through another day. But just as you close your eyes, the baby cries and you realize it's not over yet. So let's face it, the holidays can be stressful, tiring. They can be frustrating. So why do we have them? Why do we have them? Anyone? Why do we have them? They're traditional. They create memories for us. Magic. There's nothing like Christmas morning with little ones in the house. It's all magical for them. In my mind, this sort of sounds like marriage and kids. They can be tiring and frustrating, and sometimes we can pull our hair out. So why do we have them? My daughter, who's sitting in the back, asked me that same question. Mom, why do you, she says, are you sad that you had us? Because we're really hard. I said, no. I said, it's all worth it. It is all worth it. Now let me backtrack about 26 years ago, before I was married. I remember the very first time that I ever saw my husband. We were down at BYU Provo, and I remember seeing him, and I thought, I wonder what nationality he is. He looked like he was Brazilian. No. Was he Hispanic? No. Was he Italian? I wasn't sure. And then I remember, he's actually sitting in the back. He's not going to like me to say this, but he's sitting in the back corner over there. He's a handsome guy, isn't he? I remember he would be working out, and I would watch him, and I'd think, man, he's pretty strong. And then I started thinking, he's probably one of those football players. He's like, hey, baby, what's up, what's up? And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to even date someone like that. So I had made all these judgments about him before I had even met him. But this is how we met. I was working out again at the Joseph Smith Field House, and he ran by me and he said, hi, Lori. And my real name is Lorisa, but I go by Lori. And then he just kept running all the way around the gym. And I had one lap to think. First of all, how did he know my name? Is he even coming back? I didn't have any idea. I didn't know. Well, he did. He finally made his round all the way back, and then he stopped and he started to talk to me. And I remember thinking, you are nothing like I thought you were. He kind of had an accent, so I said, where are you from? And he says, oh, I'm from Tonga. I had no idea where Tonga was. And in fact, when you had a hard time saying my last name, when he told me his name the very first time, I could not remember. I went home and I said, I met this guy. And I don't remember his name at all. His full name is Nevaloni Pelotu. And so you can see why I didn't remember that. I was like, he's from like this island. And I don't know where it is. He kind of had to explain it to me. But so we started dating, we fell in love, and then he proposed to me. And he said, and I said yes. And he said, and I'm moving to Hawaii next week. And I said, really? I says, well, I guess I'm going to be moving to Hawaii then. What a dream. So I sold my car, I moved in with my parents, I saved up, he moved. He literally moved like the next week. He already had his plane ticket. So I moved to Hawaii, and we got married in Hawaii. It was wonderful. This is us, November 25th, 1989. We got married in the Hawaii Temple. And I love this man. Probably one of the hardest days that I had was when I had to drop him off at the airport, and I had to say goodbye to him, and I knew I was coming to Hawaii. But it was so hard to leave him. It was really, really hard. I want you to think for just a moment about the first time that you saw your spouse. What was it like when you were dating? How did he propose or she propose? How did you accept, or hopefully you did accept? How did you feel about them? And what expectations did you have before you got married? I know for me, want to click that? My expectations kind of look like this. We're back to this picture again. Or even worse, click it one more time. Oh, isn't that so cute? Sorry, oh no, that's good. Stay right there, that's good. Don't we kind of have those expectations? We grew up watching those movies, and of course we just think that's the way life is going to be. I mean, my husband, he took me to Hawaii. I should have had those expectations, right? I should have been like, well, you're taking me to an exotic place. That's the way our marriage is going to be. And maybe this is our way of thinking. He will always put me first. He did when we were dating. He will always want to spend time with me. He did when we were dating. He is going to always open my door for me because he did when we were dating. He'll always be very sensitive to my needs. You see where I'm going with this. So, how long does it usually take to realize that our expectations are a bit, what's a good word? Unrealistic, idealistic? I like this. It says, I'll read it for you. It says, what's the big deal? Pre-happily ever after contracts are very common these days. There they are on the couch. I remember the day after we were married, and my husband just clicked on the television. And I was like, what? Why are you turning on the television? I'm right here. You don't have to turn on the TV for entertainment. You can talk to me. And I remember after we'd been married for a little while, my husband would go out and he would play rugby. And for those of you who know what rugby is, it's a pretty rough sport. And in Hawaii, it's even rougher because most of the teams are all Polynesian. And I would say to my husband, you know what, it's so dangerous. I just don't want you to get hurt, and it just takes so much time. How about you just don't play rugby anymore? And he'd say to me in his cute little way, he'd say, okay, I won't play anymore. And inevitably, he would come home from work, and he'd be in his work clothes, and he would be completely soaked. And I'd look at him like, what have you been doing? What's going on here? He goes, well, I stopped by at the rugby field. He says, and I watched, and then I jumped in the last 5 minutes. So, in order for me to keep my expectations, what did I feel like I needed to do? And maybe, I hope I'm not the only one in this, maybe we all feel this need. We feel like we have this need to change our spouse. You want to click that? It says, of course I can accept you for who you are. You're someone I need to change. How many times, this is a perfect example. How many times have you been to a seminar or a talk or a workshop and you've heard something really great about a relationship and you just think to yourself, this is exactly what my spouse needs to hear. This is exactly what they need to hear. In Matthew 7:3 it says, and why behold thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thine own eye. Hey, you have like this is like a little bit of dust in your eye right there. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. So perhaps you've spent a great deal of your marriage trying to do the impossible, change your spouse. But it's Tuesday, so it's my turn to manage you. I don't know, has this ever worked at your house? If you just do it like this, or in my family, we always did it this way. Thank you for enlightening me. Thank you for being so smart. I appreciate that so much. Or how about this one? I told you so. If you would just listen to me. You are right. I am going to listen to you from now on. You are so smart. Or how about you spend way too much time doing this or that. Things that we clearly justify in ourselves. But these scrapbooks are for our children. Or no, I'm donating my time to the PTA or donating my time to the class play because I'm in the PTA. Or no, this meal is for Sister Smith down the street and I'm supposed to be giving her this. So if that doesn't work at your house, it doesn't work at mine either. Complaining or blaming another person does not promote change. In fact, it usually spurs on anger or hurt, making our partners more entrenched in their behavior patterns and more resistant to change. So most attempts at changing our spouse backfire. So what do most people do? They try again. They say, if you would just listen to me, then we wouldn't have to go over this again and again. You click that. What is Albert Einstein? How does he define insanity? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So whether we like it or not, we really can't control another person. We might be able to control them a little bit for a little while, but we really cannot control the way they think or the way they feel or what they will essentially do. And if you're not sure about that, you can definitely see that in children. I know that for my husband. My daughter happens to be sitting next to him. My daughter, she's very strong-willed, and we love that about her, but she's always been really funny. One day my husband asked her, would you run out and get me a paper towel? And she said, sure, Dad, I'll go get you a paper towel. So she brought back a piece of paper and a towel. Sure, she did what he asked, but in her own little way. On the other hand, we do have the power to motivate others, encourage them, and influence them by the way we act. In essence, when we take that beam out of our own eye, that we can see others clearly. So click that. So here you are. When you are kind or loving or grateful, then you spur on kindness and loving and gratitude. And it's not, hey, I did this for you, so you do this for me. Does anyone live in a bartering system in your house? Hey, I did this for you, so now you have to do this for me. I made you happy yesterday, so you got to make me happy today. The truth is, happiness, I love this. It says, you are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, chances are you'll end up disappointed. Isn't that true? But this is really empowerment. This is where we can walk away from a class or a workshop or a talk and we can say, I am in charge of myself. I am able to change me. And as we do that, as we change, other things, miraculous things happen. It's an amazing process. Now some of you may be thinking, yeah, that's really easy, but it's It's not that easy to do. It's hard to do. How many of you have been scolding your kids or getting mad at someone and then someone calls and you just instantly can turn on a dime and say, hello, and you can smile? No one? Yes? Some of you? If you've done that, then yes, you are capable of changing. So how do we begin this journey of changing ourselves? Working on number one.